Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Chapter 1, Leaves and Wombats. This is the third time I've done this. I've got 10 minutes to do it, so I'm going through it quick. Sorry, here we go. Alright, red means take notes, green means you need to do what I said, so there's an activity to do. Alright, so what is Greenfoot? It's a free environment that makes it easy to make 2D games and animations and simulations. It's fun for you guys. You guys are doing stuff. You can see it happening. That's why we like it. The reason I like it, it's a great way to teach object-oriented concepts in Java using the Java programming language. Okay. Here's some resources that you have. www.greenfoot.org. You can go here and get all the information on Greenfoot that you need. You can download everything to do it at home. The scenarios, we're going to be using the scenarios out of the chapter, and you can get those here. There's a tutorial for how to do just extra stuff there. So if you want to use an Xbox game controller, you can learn how to do all that. Alright, this is the book we'll be using. This PowerPoint slideshow follows it closely. What's a wombat? It's this thing right here. It's charming. It eats plants. It's found in Australia and Tasmania, and it has no distinctive characteristics whatsoever. If I say, hey, what does a rabbit look like? You say, oh, it has long ears. If I say, what does a tiger look like? You say, it has big teeth, it roars, and has stripes. What is a wombat? Well, I don't know. There's nothing about it to describe it. Alright, so getting started, you got to copy all the stuff from the book. Okay, so what that means is we're going to come down here and we're going to go to, you're going to go Start. You're going to go to My Computer. Okay, you're going to go to the you're going to go to the Programming folder. Okay, you're going to go to Assignments. You're going to go to Greenfoot. Okay, and you're going to go to the book scenarios and you're going to copy chapter 1. You're going to copy, okay, and then you're going to go back to the folder with your name on it. Okay, so if you go back, here's your folder with your name on it. If you haven't done so already, you're going to go File, New Folder, and you're going to make a folder called Intro to Programming. I already did it. Okay, inside the Intro to Programming, you're going to right click and you're going to hit Paste, and you're going to get this Chapter 1 folder in here. Okay, inside there you're going to find Leaves and Wombats. Go inside there, and then double click on this. Once you double click on this, Greenfoot will open. You're going to get something that looks like this, except for minus all these wombats on here. So I'm going to delete these guys. I guess we don't have to. One of the first things you need to do is hit compile. Okay, so hit compile. That will be helpful for you. Okay. Okay, so once you have that, let's go back to our slideshow and let's see what we have. Okay, so follow the instructions in green. Okay, you're going to get this world, and like I said, hit compile. Okay, so this is alright, so the Java programming language is object-oriented. This is in red. You need to write it down. The Java programming language is a modern programming language. It's a good programming language. It's used a lot. You can use it in web pages. You can use it to make games for the web. Object-oriented means that we're going to deal with like real-world objects. So in this particular chapter, our real-world objects are leaves and wombats. So we're going to deal with things that we're familiar with. Okay? Alright, so if you see here, classes and objects are fundamental. If you look at this, a class is like a blueprint. It's the instructions on how to make something, a class. An object is an instance of the class. So if we have our blueprints and we make the thing on the blueprints, we're going to have a Ferrari, and that's our object. That's something we can actually do something with it. Okay? And by the way, let's say that I did make a Ferrari. Let's say I did make a Ferrari. Well, I could actually make another kind of Ferrari off of this. Let's say I took this and then I said, well, let's even modify this Ferrari even more, and we can add like a supercharger to it and make it even faster. Okay, so that would be kind of like called like a subclass. So you can follow the blueprints. You make a bunch of Ferraris, and then if you want to, you can even change the Ferraris or each individual Ferrari around a little bit. Okay, object is an instance of a class. All right, you can see that you have the class diagram over on the right hand side, and it shows all the classes that are involved with this thing. Okay, so let me do this. This might work a little better here. Hold on a second. Okay, so you can see that over here it shows you everything that you have. Here's all the classes. You have instructions on how to make a wombat, and you have instructions on how to make leaves. Okay, that's called your class diagram. Alright, so here's some things you need to write down. A superclass contains methods that give functionality to a subclass. Okay, so this is a superclass. Okay, this is a superclass, this is a subclass, this is a subclass. So there's blueprints on actors that gives like, okay, here's how you make an actor, there's instructions on how to make that. And then this is even more specific, okay, on the wombat and the leaf. So these are subclasses. Okay, and so it says right here, subclasses inherit the methods of its superclasses. So basically what that means is this guy right here can do everything that this guy can do. This guy right here can do everything this guy can do. Okay? Write those notes down. Alright, green. This means we need to do something. Adding objects to the world. Okay, so we're trying to add some wombats to our world, and so here's what you do. Come over here. We're going to right click on this thing right here. We're going to say new wombat, and we're going to press the shift key so we can add multiple ones. Okay, so hit shift. We're going to do the same thing with the leaves. Right click, go new leaves. We're going to hit shift, and we're going to add multiple ones. Okay, alright, so let's do that. Okay, so we've added some objects to our world. If you look over here, we're going to do the same thing. Here's instructions to do it for the leaves. Okay, so add the wombats and the leaves. Alright, so take a look at this. So worlds and actors, there are two basic types of things. You have the world, that's where the wombats exist. You have the actors, these are the guys that we put in the world that do stuff. The children are subclasses, you can see. So like we talked about earlier, the leaves is a subclass of actor. Actors can act, they're going to do stuff. Okay, interacting with objects. Alright, let's figure out what these guys can do. Okay, so we're going to interact with these guys, and we're going to use their methods. So we're going to say, let's see what happens if we try to move this guy. He moves. Let's see what happens if we try to turn this guy. He turns. Now let's try to move him. He moves. Okay, so what's happening right there is we're invoking his methods. Those are the operational commands that we can give him. These are the things that he knows how to do. Somebody created his blueprint, his class, and they gave him the ability to do these things. They're his methods. It's what he can do. Okay. Alright, so play around with it and see what your actors can do. Okay. Okay, so here's your quiz for day 1. Number 1, what is Greenfoot? What is Java? What is the difference between a class and an object? What is a class diagram? What is a world, an actor, and a subclass? And what is a method?